outside. All right. It is cold outside. I really must go. Math favors the brave, all right? If you go after your dreams, if you chase after a goal, if you go after a certain something, then there's a 50% chance you'll make it, there's a 50% chance you won't. But if you never try, if you never start, if you never move forward, you're still holding on to the past, you're still letting other people's opinions hold you back, then you have a 0% chance of doing what you're called to do, of doing what you want to do, of doing what makes you happy. So, math favors the brave. Be brave. Go after the thing. You win, you lose, or you learn, but either way, you're going to be better off than you would have been if you hadn't even tried. So, you say you love somebody, right? You say you're willing to die for somebody, but are you willing to live for them? Are you willing to change your character? Are you willing to take care of your health? Are you willing to get closer to God so that you actually have a positive impact on the people in your life? Are you willing to do what is necessary to make yourself a good person to be around? A healthy, well-minded, healed, developed person, right? So you say you're willing to die for somebody, which is noble, that's honorable, but are you willing to live for somebody? Because more often than not, the most impact that we are going to make, that you and I are going to make on somebody's life is going to be while we're alive. So it makes sense to take our energy, our effort, and our focus and put it into that, into how we're living our lives, more than, oh yeah, I love somebody so much that I would just die. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Every man should lift weights, learn how to fight, have a relationship with Jesus Christ. The relationship with Jesus Christ being the most important one, because that's where you'll get your fulfillment from. You can have everything else, but if you don't have Jesus, nothing else really is going to fill that God-sized hole in your heart. But martial arts and lifting weights and taking care of yourself is super important. You will gain self-confidence. You'll feel stronger. You'll be stronger physically, emotionally, spiritually. As a man, you'll be more comfortable in your own skin. Talking to women is easier. You'll be able to protect the people that you love. And having a relationship with God will help you do all these things too, right? If you have the relationship with God first and foremost, and then you put in fitness and you put in martial arts, I'm telling you, it will change your life. It will change your life. What I want for you guys is not just to hear me talk on videos, but for your lives to be changed, which is why I'm doing this, which is why I'm talking. So, two kinds of people, really, right? There's the person that's doing what they need to do, and then there's the person that's not doing what they need to do. The person that's doing what they need to do, has no reason to be anxious, has no need to have fear, has no need to be worried about anything, especially if God has backed you, especially if God is behind you. There's nothing you need to worry about. The only time you really need to worry is when you're not doing what you know you should already be doing. That's when worry comes in. That's when doubt comes in. That's when anxiety comes in, right? Like Conor McGregor, when he was coming up in the UFC, he said that doubt is only removed by action. When you're not acting the way you need to act, that's when doubt comes in. So if you're doing what you need to do, stop worrying. Trust that the process will take care of itself. Trust that God will bring it about. Trust that your life is going to get better. But if you aren't doing what you need to do, then you know, man, it's cold out here, then you know that you have some adjustments to make. Whether that's physically, whether that's spiritually, whether that's financially, whether that's relationships. If you know the adjustments that you need to make and you don't make them, you are responsible for your own suffering. But if you know the adjustments you need to make, and you're doing your best, and you're being intentional, and you're doing your best to make those adjustments, then everything's going to work itself out. All things are going to work together for good. All right? As important as it is to train hard, to work hard, to be diligent, to be on top of your things, as important as that is, it is also just as important to rest hard, to create times for stillness, to create time to sleep, to create time to rest, to create time to be quiet and be alone by yourself, right? The Bible talks about in the book of Kings where Elijah was only able to hear God once the noise had settled. And so it is, as a man, it is fantastic to be about your things and to be focused and to have this grit and this tenacity when you're going after what you want. But at the same time, you have to learn to stop. You have to learn to pause. Jesus went up onto mountains to pray by himself. He took time for himself, and then he came back down and he healed people. And then he came back down and he did his work. And then he came back down and he did what he was called to do, right? But just as important, so, everybody says like work hard, play hard, right? I would say work hard, rest hard. Make sure you're taking care of your health. Make sure you're eating. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Because what is the point of being successful if you lose yourself at the end, right? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but to lose his soul, right? So be focused, be strong, be diligent, but also make time for stillness and silence. You're not going to get very far in your life if you're not willing to lose or you're not willing to be embarrassed. If you want to do something great, if you want to do something big, if you want to make a big impact in the world, if you want to be successful, if you want to have a good family, if you want to have good relationships, if you want to do all of these things that are abnormal, that are outside of the average, that are exceptional goals and strategies and techniques, right? You're not going to get that by looking at everybody else. You're going to look weird. You're going to look stupid. You're going to look crazy. You're going to look foolish to other people. But that's okay. I would rather look foolish to people and wise to God than look wise to other people and look foolish to God. Okay, so if you're being guided by the Lord, if you have a deep and intimate relationship with Him, then it's okay if you look crazy, right? David looked crazy when he went to fight Goliath. Daniel looked crazy when he was getting thrown into the lion's den. Jesus looked crazy when he was just a guy from Nazareth. Okay, so looking crazy more often than not is actually the price for success. And then on the other end, people are like, oh, how'd you do it? That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. Or you just got big out of nowhere. Or, I always knew you would do it. But when you're starting out, you're like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Man, I wouldn't do that. Oh, that doesn't, that's kind of weird. Why do you need to talk about God like that? Right? But once again, if you're looking to get exceptional results, you got to be an exceptional human being. And being an exceptional human being requires doing hard things, requires allowing people to not like you, allowing people to even be disgusted with you, allowing people to hate you, right? Jesus said, in comparison to your love for me, you should hate your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, right? And so Jesus wasn't saying, actually hate people. But what he was saying is that you should be so focused on what I have for you and your love for me that you're willing to look crazy when necessary. So if you're willing to look crazy for the right reasons, for the right things,